All right, guys. Let's see. Okay, it's recording. Welcome to the team call. So it's the Getting Started Right call on the first Monday of May. I'm excited to have you guys here with me. I'm going to go through a few things, but like I was sharing before I hit record, I don't have any electricity in my house right now. So the handouts that we have and the papers that I usually kind of go through, I don't have at my disposal, but I want to share here. I'm going to put this since it's in the recording, and then I'm just going to do question and answer for you guys. Anything you need help with, that's what I'm here for. But I'm going to go ahead and share the screen, because what I want to do is a lot of what you're going to, when you go through as a new coach, the new coach, whoops, I didn't do that, hold on. When you go through the new coach training and getting started right, there's a lot of information in the Simple Business Plan. It's just been updated slightly by Summer Tucker. She actually has been simplifying things. She kind of tweaks things every couple of months, and we use her system. What I like about it is the tweaking is always to simplify. It's never intended to make it more complicated. But when you go through the Simple Business Plan, you know, as a new coach, or even for us that have been here for a little longer, however long you've been a coach, the most important thing you need to be doing, and I wanted to mention this tonight, is we need to be following a fitness program. We need to be drinking our Shakeology, and we need to be reading personal development. Like, that's the most important thing. We cannot, if you are struggling in your business, that's the first place to look. A lot of times I did this as a coach. I would get so sidetracked by trainings, like I talked about this a little bit in the weekly forecast, and trying to get all the trainings down, or trying to track everything perfect, or trying to invite people. But because I would let my fitness slide. Exercise for me is a necessity, but it's not something I love. Like I need to do it, but I don't enjoy it. I enjoy it afterwards when I have the, endorphin kick in, and it helps me a lot. But I've noticed, like, if I'm struggling in the business, usually it's because I'm not reading good personal development to fit whatever I'm struggling with. I'm not following a fitness program, so I don't have that confidence to help other people. Or, I've never really struggled with Shakeology, but my nutrition is off sometimes. And when we don't feel good in our own journey, it's harder for us to have enthusiasm with reaching out for others. So that's like the most important. The next part that she talks about in the Simple Business Plan is the 12-day new coach training. And that is a great step-by-step, 10 minutes a day walk through from vision to belief system to, how to organize your power hour, which has been updated. I made a new video with a simplified system that has the funnel that we talked about on a team call a while ago. And all of that is in the Simple Business Plan, making your list of 100, setting up your website, the importance of those things. So what I want to walk you through tonight is just to recognize some of the tools we have on our team, and Michelle and I update them as well from time to time. So weird to see myself on my computer when I'm talking to you. So this is the Team Fearless Freedom page. If you go over here where it says description, stay connected, and click see more, there's a lot of important information here. The Team Fearless Freedom Google Drive, if you click this, it'll take you to a Google Drive where Michelle and I and other coaches, as they've created content, have saved everything here. So the top folder is Team Courage Coach Essentials. Anytime you do a training with Summer Tucker, who is our upline for the head of Team Courage, she will say, this is in Coach Essentials. We have a link to it right here in our Google Drive. So you can find like her scripts, her challenge groups, her meal plans, her training templates, everything is right there. And so that's a great resource if you're looking for new ideas. Maybe you've used what we have and you want to try something new, because she pulls together like the whole community from the whole team. All of our power hour stuff is here. This is where you're going to find business activity trackers, the go for no sheets to make your invite list, forming trackers, anything that you would need to track your power hour. Organizing your team is where you'll find how to sign up a new coach, information to send your coach, like a welcome. Coaching at a Glance webinar recordings. This is where we have templates for sneak peek into coaching, things we've run, and plus recorded webinar links in the past. These are all of our challenge groups here. So you could find, if you look like right here, and this is something, as you guys do groups, if you run free groups and things, feel free to add them. You can save them in here. We have free challenges. These are all the challenges people have put together that are free. There's a no sugar, a free squat, clean eating. Michelle and I are doing a new cleaner eating 1.0. Once we finish it, we'll save it and stick it in here. Clean crock pot challenge, a Fitbit challenge. There's a 21-day Beachbody on Demand challenge. Like, all of the people, just when you make one up, save it in here. We all get to share it. So these are the 30-day Shakeology challenge guides that we have put together from the past 5 to 10 days. These are 5, 7, and 10 days. The point is, everything you need in meal plans and recipes that you can share. There's also meal plans in the Team Courage site. And then the last folder here, and I don't think training's bad, guys. I'm a huge fan of training when I say that. But if you're looking for something that you need help from, these are information like about how to run a fit club, using the Coach mobile app. This is the team call notes from the funnel, scripts and nuggets from other team calls. Like, sometimes we'll grab stuff, or coaches will share things with us. I just got a training one of these coaches shared with me on Facebook ads. I'm going to add that in here. It's just a great place if you're like, I need a little more help with something. We might say, go look in the additional training, or if you stumble across something. It's good for when you have a need to look. It's not something that you're like, oh, I need to come in here and master all this stuff right now. It's just when you have time. Like, I set aside Saturdays. If you look at my business activity tracker, if the one I have Saturday, I have what I call a focus 4, and not everyone chooses this, and that's fine. But I work Saturday mornings. I have a chunk. I get up early before my kids, and that's when I do training. Like, I'm learning Facebook stuff right now. I purchased a training. I work on my blog, and I catch up on stuff. So it's not like my power hours, but it's like when I've dedicated, so it's not taking me out of phase 1. And so this might be a place I would go to. Like, in the invite training, the Tommy migrant call was amazing. Sample invite post. There's just a lot of stuff in our drive. So that's the point of, it's easy to access. It's right there in the description. We also have a team YouTube channel. When you go to this, all of our team calls are uploaded on here. I'm actually going to be moving them over to the actual playlist. This pic cracks me up. Ben's face looks so like staunch. He's like our bouncer. But if you look, all of the last team calls are here. You can go listen to them. These are great. Sometimes if I'm tired, if I've been doing a workout for a few weeks and I'm like, okay, I don't want to listen to Shanti and Cardio 1 again, I'll play an old team call while I'm working out. You know what I mean? So there's team calls, inspirational videos. These are Beachbody training, some personal development favorites that you can add to this list, and then challenge group videos. So that's all, like, for example, like the all access challenge pack promo video, we should add that there. And then down here, the subscriptions from our team page, the Team Courage site. So there's more, like Coach Opportunity webinars are linked here, training videos, anything that they've done. The Darren Hardy is great, so we subscribe to that for personal development. And then Beachbody's 2 YouTube channels are part of this. So you can go to those very easily from our YouTube channel if you don't have a channel and aren't subscribed, and find like challenge group videos and stuff. Like, if someone's interested in the 21-day fix, you can send them the promo video to help them understand it. If you want to dig in deeper, everythingwithheart.com, and the password is why not me 1, and you have to click submit. You can't hit enter, is the Team Courage website. It's more resources, lots of good content. There's links over here for Michelle and I. We have time set aside for mentoring calls, one-on-one, or with you and your coach. We're happy to do that. You just sign up at the times that are allotted. And then the last couple things here. This is the new video. It's at the top of the document that'll explain how to organize your business. I did a call on the funnel system a while ago, and after that it clicked a way to simplify how to track. So this is a basic document that'll walk you through, and you should go through this with your coach to figure out the best resource for you. But they're all the bats that you could choose from, and then the different sheets we have, like the invite sheets and scripts and how to track our challengers. All of that information is here, and the video shows you how to organize it. So it tells you how to get your stuff in order to run your power hour. And what I like to do with my new coaches is actually like help them pick a bat that makes sense to their brain. And, you know, this is something I feel like it's good to do, and I can answer questions about it after, but print out the sheets and use them for a month or two. And then if you're like, I don't even use this paper, pull those out of your binder and just use what you use. That's the best way to kind of discover the method that's best to track your business. And then the last couple things here, if you have a new coach, here's a direct link so you don't have to go search in our Google Drive on how to onboard your coach, the simple business plan, and the same thing here, if you how to set up a challenger, and the opportunity webinar recordings. And so this is just a great resource for you guys. It's like a quick access to get to stuff in the team page that I wanted to share with you guys. The other thing that I wanted to share tonight, and then I'll take any questions you guys have, is when we are, how do I stop sharing? Hold on. So Zoom updated, and now I don't know how to. Okay. How do I get enough sleep? Oh, now I can see the chat. Hold on one second. So I'll get to that. I don't really know if I get enough sleep. One of the things that I want to talk to you guys tonight about is when you become a coach, a couple of goals that you want to work on, especially if you are in this business as a hobby coach, which hobby to me in a category is someone who wants to earn money to pay for their Shakeology, potentially earn a little bit of fun money for like a date night. And then there's business builders. What a business builder means is just that it's someone that's kind of trying to build a little more sustainable income. Now that could be a part-time income or a full-time income. But when you get to those levels, you'll start hearing things about rank. And so part of the Getting Started Right call I want to talk to you about tonight a little bit is Emerald Rank, which is when you invite 2 coaches to your team, personally sponsored, and that advances your business center. And it gets to a place where instead of as a coach just earning through commission, you start earning through cycle bonuses. And I did a video on this in our team page last week. So if Emerald is something that you're interested in pursuing, the third Monday of the month, that mastermind that Michelle and I do for our team call, that's geared towards helping you guys get to Emerald, learn how to cycle, and work problem solve through the process of getting there. What happens is in the business, we have volume. Each year, it's a binary system. There's a right leg and a left leg. When you have a coach on either leg, you activate your business center, and every time the legs add up to 300 points through volume, which is sales or whatever's purchased, you make money. And so what's cool about that is as you start to grow in your influence and in your desire and the things that you're doing in this team, the more people you can reach out to if this opportunity is something that could bless them. As you help them grow, it's like you're kind of reaping the benefit of your work, if that makes sense. So the more influence your team has, the more your team grows and reaches out, the more lives it change, that will reflect your income growth. Courtney Bell, I love how she said it last week when she said, when we pursue other people's goals as ours, we naturally stumble across our own. And so what I wanted to talk to you guys about tonight is I didn't mean to do that, sorry. You'll hear about Emerald Rank as an important step in activating it. And if that's something that you're interested in pursuing, it doesn't have to be hard. It can be overwhelming when you're new because it seems kind of like, okay, hang on, but I don't know. And you'll be seeing videos and things that Michelle and I'll share just to kind of help you through and talking to your coach about it, because really it's a great opportunity to take the time to think about this and what this business is doing for you. You don't need to be like a getting ready to get ready kind of thing. It's like we don't have to wait till we're finished with our first program and rocking a 6-pack, which I've never done, to invite somebody to a challenge group. You know what I'm saying? So it's the same thing with the business. It's learning that if you want to build the business, that's an important step. So as a new coach, talking to your personally sponsored coach about Success Club, which is helping 3 people. By doing that, you're going to pay for your Shakeology. And then talking about, by the second month, reaching Emerald. Like, how could you do that if it's a goal of yours, and start talking about people who this business opportunity could bless. And so that's something I wanted to talk about tonight briefly and let you guys know soon. Yeah, I'll rock the 6-pack. I got a 6-pack of kids. I got a 7-pack of kids. I'm like, it's all good. So anyway, yeah, that was the funny part when I got pregnant this time. It was the first time I was ever seeing abs, and then I got pregnant. God is humbling me. So that's, we've been talking about that in the team page. And I mentioned that Emerald Summer Tucker is actually going to be running an Emerald in a week training at the end of May. She hasn't released the training yet. But you don't have to wait till then. Like, if you want more information on that, or I can even answer questions tonight, I'm happy to. The last thing I wanted to share, because Michelle's not here tonight, we do like to do a little social media focus, is I wanted to talk to you guys about a couple tips with your Facebook posts. And this is not my area of expertise, but I've heard, she's helped me a lot, and I've heard quite a bit of, what she shared. So I'm going to just give you like maybe 3 tips to kind of help. So I'm going to share my screen one more time to show you. The first thing you want to do with your Facebook page is you want to make sure that you have a photo of you as a profile picture. If you're looking for, you can use really good apps like Photify, Camera Plus. People can share other ones. Canva has an app now, but you can use them to kind of put a filter on it, but you want to make sure it's you. I have had photos of like me and one of my children, or me and my husband, but it's mostly me. And that's not to be like self-centered. It's because it's you, and you don't want people to come to your page and not know who you are. So even if you have like a hat on or something, you want to make sure you can kind of see your eyes. Like, it's an important part of like kind of this marketing, so to speak. Like, when people come to your page, you want them to know who you are. The other part is having with your Facebook header. Now, I'm not great with Facebook headers, but Michelle has a video that she shared about how to do one with PicMonkey, which I did Canva. So this is my header for my personal page. I have a quote, my family, and then I had a logo that was designed a long time ago, and my blog web address on the bottom. I also linked down here my personal page because I have a like page, and this is something that we could do. When my like page header, Michelle did it. You can tell the difference in how she's way more talented at this than I am. But it doesn't have to be this perfect, but you want to make sure it's clean and it tells about you. You can pay for someone to do it down the road, but at this point, you just want to make sure that it has, who you are. So, for me, it has my family. I love to write, and it's got a quote from my blog, and just important, just kind of to capture who I am. And I'm like obsessed with daisies. So the other thing you want to look at when you're scrolling down your Facebook page, look at the first like 5 posts when you just scroll down, and ask yourself, like, does this tell about who I am? Like, what does this say about me? You know what I mean? Like, you might be uncomfortable with selfies. I personally don't like taking them. You wouldn't know it from my Facebook page, but I've learned that you need to take pictures of yourself for people to associate with you and who you are. Like, yes, this was a clean eating post and it worked from my countertop of my groceries, but if all my posts were just of like my food and never of my face, I've learned, Michelle's taught me this, that people don't know you. If it's a quote, talk about why you have that quote. Don't just put something up for the sake of putting it up. You want things to tell a story. So it's important for you to also like have kind of 4 or 5 topics that matter to you that you want to talk about, and let them be unique to who you are. I talk a lot about like books because I'm obsessed with reading, coffee because that's what goes with the book, right? My pregnancy because that's what I'm going through right now, my family and my marriage and my faith. Like, those are kind of my thing. And I sprinkle fitness into all of it. So if you looked on my page, you would know, like, I'm, just who I am. There are seasons you could go through my Facebook page and it wasn't great. Like, when I first was a coach, I go back when stuff pops up in my memories. And I'm like, oh my gosh, that was awful, you know, because there would just be no graphic or a bad photo, or you could tell I was just throwing stuff up for the sake of it. I would say it's better to have 2 or 3 good posts a day. You'll hear people say post 3 to 5 times a day. If that's overwhelming you because you can't think of 3 to 5 things, it is better to have 2 to 3 good posts that tell your story, that sprinkle your story. You want to be vulnerable to a level that shares enough about you in a way that other people can insert themselves in your story. If I share I had a really overwhelming day with my kids because kids were really cranky and I was really striving to try to be peaceful and it just wasn't working for me, so I'm hiding in my car drinking kombucha. People don't know what my kids exactly did or whatever, but they can associate with a mom having a cranky afternoon. Does that make sense? You want to share those kind of things, or when you finish a workout, how you, not just like I got my workout done, but even if you say like, today was crazy, this workout totally helped my like stress level go down. I'm so thankful I do these things. I make this time for myself because 4 years ago, I never would have done this, or however many years ago. So just trying to insert more of that into your social media, because that's what builds trust. When you're inviting people or connecting with them and getting to know them, if they go to your page and see a bunch of Beachbody content and nothing else, they're going to feel like you're no different than any other salesperson who's hit them up and stuck them in a group. But we're different. Like, we want to actually help them build their story, and if you think about that, when you're reaching out to them, what will their story look like? You'll approach people differently. So I'm going to look over here at the chat and see, how do I get enough sleep? Michelle's new bat is on there. So her new bat. So it's my bat, her bat, and then Beachbody came out with a new bat. And those are the 3 options that are on there. They're in the Team Freedom Drive. And then I put them on that sheet for how to organize your power hour. And as far as sleep, I try to go to bed by 10:15 and I get up around 5:30. But I'm trying to get up earlier than that. It's been a struggle lately because I haven't been getting to bed as early. My brain's been turning on at night. Like, I do that when I'm pregnant. So, but that's what I strive to do. Soon I'll have a 6-pack. Yeah, that's funny. And you know what, Faith, like with social media, I was not good at it either. Like, I was really not good at it. I used to actually post stuff in our team page and ask for feedback. So if that's something you struggle with, you can always post it in our team page and say, I love it when people do that and say, this is what I was thinking of posting. What do you guys think? Or Michelle does social media audits where she'll meet with you and give you tips. Like, she helped me, especially with my photos, like how to take a better photo. I used to think that it didn't really matter, but it does, and so she's a great person even to help. But trying is good. That means it's important and you're making an effort and just giving yourself grace to learn, because it takes time. I mean, I've made horrible posts. My worst post ever was when I fell, I think I already told y'all this, down my stairs when I was pregnant and I busted my elbow, and I put it on Facebook before I called anybody to tell them, when I was on my way to the ER. And then my phone died. So like my entire family saw it and no one could get a hold of me for like 5 hours because I was in the hospital and they didn't know if I broke my elbow. And it was like a bad picture with, like, what I'm saying? It was not thought out. There was no reason for it except for I was ticked off and I put it on Facebook, and then I freaked my mom out and she yelled at me for days, and that was fine. But my point is, that was bad. It was not well planned. It was the wrong kind of attention. Like, I shouldn't have done it. I always laugh now when it pops back up because I'm like, that was just bad. I was more mad that I spilled my Shakeology falling down the stairs and my son was late for baseball and my daughter missed ballet. Like, my point is, if you're thinking through your post, that's the biggest thing. You just don't just post, don't vomit. You know what I mean? Like, for the sake of it. And Michelle's good at helping through like how to get them the content right, or how to do the, if you're not big with words and writing, that's okay. It's sometimes just getting in the right picture with the right quote on it. Something I'm having difficulty with is when I post something I want people to see, and then I post something else that's been drawing attention away from the original. Are you saying that because people aren't liking on it, Andrea? Like, can you explain a little bit? Can you give me an example? Because can I unmute you, or can you unmute and tell me what? Here, let me see if I can.
Okay.
Okay.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
All right. Basically, now I try to post something related to my business in a way that my friends will not be, not turn off completely.
Yeah.
But, and then I'm like, I'll post something about it, or an invitation or a question. And then I realized, oh, I just posted that early in the day, and I should probably post something else, or I think about something else later. And I feel like sometimes I'm hesitant to post again because it might draw the attention away from the thing that I really want the people to see.
Right. I hear you. Okay. Yeah, no, I think, two things that I think of, and I think Angie had something she was going to add to it. I thought you raised your hand. Number one, my call to action posts for challenge groups or fitness journeys get the least amount of engagement ever. But people will reach out later and be like, I really liked that post that you did about, and I'm like, well, why didn't you like it? But they never do. And I think it's because it's like a nervous thing. Maybe they don't want you to know. I don't know. But the other thing I was going to tell you is, so keep doing it. Like, I wouldn't let something sit for more than a couple hours. Like, if you're not seeing any engagement at that point, you can come on the team page. Like, I've done it a few times and say, like, I just posted this. Can you guys go give it a little love? And if a couple likes on it from us, it'll boost it back up. Or I've even like deleted it and reposted it later in the day. Sometimes it helps if you know when your people are on. So when you've posted other things, like Michelle has taught, like Sunday night and Monday night are the best time to post challenge group posts. Those are like my dead times. No one ever comments on stuff when I do them on Mondays or Sunday night. So for me, it's Tuesday or Wednesday night. Like, I had to learn those were better nights for I don't know why. It's just the way it is with my friends that aren't on that night. So if you know, like, your higher traffic times, like, that might help too, but I wouldn't take it personal. If you're posting better, like, not better, but content that gets better engagement afterwards, they're still going to see your other stuff. Because they're going to look more at more than, they just might not be commenting, which is why that personal messaging is so important. But I would also say, like, feel free to ask us to like it. Cause that there's it's not a pity thing. Like, if we go on the team page and say, like, I just posted something, that's how we can help each other out, kind of boost it made me laugh on one of them one time. Cause I think I shared with you guys, like, I got made fun of on one of my posts last week in Spanish. I don't even speak Spanish, but I Googled what are they writing, and they were making fun of me. And everybody under it from our team was like, oh, you're so, and then I'm like, I didn't mean for you guys to like love on it. I just meant, but it felt like that's why we're a team. Does that make sense? Like, so that might help too. And then they're giving some tips over here on the side. You've asked your mom to comment. That's awesome. Or a friend. Videos get lots of attention. Yes, they do. If you did a video every other day, it would boost your affinity big time. Angie, did you have anything to add to that, or were you going to say that same thing?
I was going to say pretty much the same thing, but you don't have to ask your mom to comment. You can just go in and put a period.
Oh, yeah.
And it will pop it back to the top of everyone's newsfeed because someone commented. So you don't even have to like engage your husband or whoever to get them to comment. The other thing that I would suggest is every once in a while, like if you're writing a post about fitness, do something with somebody else that you'd like to get their whole friend group in and tag them in the post. And then it'll go through all of their feed as well as your feed.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Does that make sense? So like if I wanted to get Kelly to join me, but she hasn't yet, I can take a picture with Kelly and say, had a really great day. Then I got home and did my workout and I'm starting a challenge group. And wouldn't it be great if we could do this stuff together as friends? And then tag her and all of her friends will see it as well as all of your friends.
That's true. Yeah, I didn't think about that.
So, I don't know what kind of post it was, but anytime you make a post, if they see the other stuff, they're going to see they're going to go, if they click on you, they're going to see all of your stuff. As long as when you go to your page, they see at least one of the ones that you want them to see.
Yeah.
You just have to make sure that that's in the first like swipe that they see one of those.
Yeah. And I think the thing is, those are the posts we want to get the most traction, because it would make our job a lot easier, meaning like,
and they get none.
And they don't. It's like, I always say it's like the billboard on the side of the road. You see it, and by the sixth one, you want to stop at Chick-fil-A. Although that one always makes me want to stop. But you know what I mean? Like some of them, like you'll see like, you know, an advertisement on a billboard. How many times do you have to pass it sometimes before you get hungry or you want to whatever? That Facebook posts are like the billboard, and then the personal invitation is like really what starts the conversation. Because even when I post a free group, I still send out invites. I don't ever count on my post to get me people.
That's why I enjoyed doing the challenge last week, because I took one of my non-fitness posts, looked for all the people who liked it, and then those were the people that I sent an invitation to that all said, you know, thank you for supporting me. And it didn't have to be about fitness. I am going to start this fitness group. Would you like to join me? It would be great if you could support me here and I could support you and we could see how it works. And I went in, and it was not on a fitness, it was like on a confirmation post or a prom post or something. But I was able to use that post because they liked it. And it wasn't a fitness one, so they weren't all sketchy about liking it. And so it worked. It was great. And I started conversations with 37 people.
That's awesome. Yeah, I think that, and I think that if you guys aren't in there, Summer's doing that 5-day invite like a boss training, and she's going to go through some of this stuff that Angie's talking about that she's learned. Only free groups. Yeah, she's being tricky. Sorry, the chat's like funny. I think the other thing. Oh, go ahead.
Sorry, I have a question. I'm sorry, I'm dark.
That's okay. I was gonna say I'll shine my flashlight on you, but that wouldn't.
It's not gonna work. You mentioned that Michelle gave you some tips on how to take good photos.
Yeah.
What are some of those? Because I feel like sometimes and I feel like I have to take 5 selfies before I pick the one that I think is even right, and still I'm like, oh my gosh, that looks corny. You know?
The number one she taught me is down. Lift it up and angle it down. That's like the number one. Like you want to, because it's slimming. There's other things she has about how to do your like body. I couldn't tell you how to do that part, because I always feel like when I try to do my body, I look really funny, because that's just it's uncomfortable for me. But her pictures always look awesome when she does her like pose stuff. Like you'll see coaches that do it, and I'm like, how do you do that without feeling weird? But I think that's one of them. Good lighting. So you want to make sure like the light is like either like not behind you, but like that day you were here and we took the selfie after we worked out, we had to get the window was behind us, and we had to kind of just making sure the lighting is good.
Like the lighting needs to be at your face, not behind you.
No, like in front, like behind the phone, not behind your phone. Yeah.
Right.
And then another one is this app that she showed me. I don't know. I think it's called Camera. I think it's the name of it's not on the app, which is always frustrating to me. Camera Plus.
Mm-hmm.
It's like can you even see? No, it's like so bad. Okay, if you look, it's just camera and the plus sign. It's all filters and lighting, and I use that all the time. That's like the best way to doctor up any photo. So those were like the top tips, I did invest in one of those circle lights that you could put on your phone.
Yeah, how do you like that?
Well, I wear glasses, so you can see the light and the reflection of my glasses. So it doesn't work for me. But when I don't have my glasses on, it's that Angie has. It's phenomenal. But I put it on one day and I went on live on Facebook, and somebody was like, "You have like white circles," and I was goofing around about it. So if I'm not wearing my glasses, it's great. But that helps the lighting if you don't have good lighting. Okay. So that's another tip she had. But those are like the top ones. And the best one that ever really was like, but the other part about it, someone shared one time is if you took a bad photo, like Janelle Yazinski is a coach in Canada that I know, and she shared this one day where it was like she was working out and she took a photo during her workout, and you could see like her post baby like tummy even, and she said she posted it with like a filter on it and a quote about being like fearfully and wonderfully made, and said, normally I wouldn't want to post a photo like this because I want you to think as a fitness coach like I'm got it all together, but I still have parts of my body that are not what everybody thinks. And I mean, I thought that was amazing. Like, do you know what I'm saying? So sometimes like I've posted a picture of me with absolutely no makeup on and talked about the freedom of that. But so I don't think everything needs to look put together, but I do think the angles kind of help where you can see you. Does that make sense? Like there's apps called Insta Beauty. It'll make your blemishes and everything. But then I feel like, well, people really relate to that if you always look flawless, you know? So you want to just, I think it doesn't matter. It's more just they know who you are. Like, does that make sense? Does that help, Rebecca? Oh, I can't hear you.
Sorry, yes, I muted myself. Yes, it definitely does.
Okay. Snap.
Well, and you have to, I mean, you really have to be careful how much you really edit your photos, because when you have unedited, people give the difference.
Yes, if you edit it to, yeah. And I do think like she's right. Like Michelle, I think that's like some people, it's a gift. So like the next time we're all together, asking her to show you stuff like that. Like I'm a hands-on person, so I've learned through her helping me with the pictures, but she's also a graphics person, so she's really good with the editing piece. So, but I think you can do it. I think it's just a matter of, it doesn't need to be perfect. It's just kind of maybe learning. And for me, my first year as a coach, all my pictures felt uncomfortable because I never took pictures of myself before. So that was part of me having to get comfortable. Like if you went on, I didn't have a before photo because there were no photos of me. That's how my self-esteem was so low. I was behind everybody, you know? And so, so part of that might too be just because you're not used to doing it. But we kind of have to, it's important. Like somebody made a fun of Summer one day and said something like, you're the person with all the selfies. And she's like, my selfies pay the bills, you know? And the person was like, oh, she's like, yeah, it made me 7 figures. I'll take selfies all day, you know? And so I'm like, oh, okay. But I do think learning that, and maybe she could even do a call in the future. I know we've had old calls that she could do where she could talk more about that kind of stuff. Cause I think that she does take great photos. But the angle and the lighting were the 2 biggest things I had to learn. So
that's awesome.
Okay. Recommend doing fitness posts from your personal page. As a new coach, I would stick with a personal page. And share your fitness journey, just like fitness. I would say your first couple posts, and we can talk more about this, Jennifer, too, is like you want it just to be almost like what's the word? Like your accountability. It's more like you're sharing your journey. So it's a storyline. And, you know, after a couple weeks of sharing your journey and what you're doing, then having like a transformation, and it doesn't have to be necessarily, sometimes it's fitness, sometimes it's physical, mental, whatever. And just say like, I'm, you know, and that's how you sprinkle it in. But I think your personal page is where you start. When you get to a certain point, we could talk about like pages. It's never a bad idea if you want to like reserve a like page with your name, but it takes more time between the 2. And as a new coach, you have a whole audience right in front of you that you haven't tapped into. Whoops, there's my flashlight. But at the same time, you're genuinely building that relationship with your audience, because you're not just blasting like Beachbody All Access, buy it for me, here's my link. You know what I'm saying? Like you're just working out to Beachbody All Access. And then breadcrumbing, we call it, like by just kind of sharing a little bit here and there about like taking a picture of y'all's dinner. And like you could talk about like the post you did with the containers tonight in the group. You could say like, I've been really intimidated about doing this, but I'm super excited. You'll have people comment who do the containers, and maybe they already have a coach, but it'll still build attention to the people who don't, you know what I'm saying? And so sharing those kind of things on social media. And then down the line, when you message people, they'll be seeing you're working out, and they're seeing you're playing with your kids at the park, and they're seeing what you're doing. So when you talk to them and say to them like, hey, I've been doing this going to do this challenge group and I'm looking for a few friends to jump in and want to see if you want to join me, they'll kind of know because they already know you on your page. I started my like page about a year after being a coach, and it was to start meeting people outside of my market. But I didn't really start focusing on it till, probably 6 months to a year later. Like I had the page because I had enough people on my personal page, like that I didn't need to. Some people do the opposite. They don't want to post anything on their personal page and they just focus on their like page. And you could do that too. If you're worried about that, but I found that wasn't how I did it. So if you want to do it that way, you kind of have to do a different approach. You wouldn't really post anything on your personal page anymore. You would just kind of treat your like page like your personal page, if that makes sense. So let's see. How do you feel about sharing? My page is public. I don't share my kids' names. I don't share where they go to school. Like I made sure it doesn't have anything about their school. I don't ever tag their schools. As my girls have gotten older, I don't share my girls on there very much anymore. Like maybe in a family photo, just because they're getting to like an older age, and I feel like as they're going to probably eventually have their own crazy social media stuff, and I don't want to necessarily have them because they'll be private. So that's kind of what I've done to protect my family. If there's ever anything I wanted to be really personal, I wouldn't put it on Facebook. So that's kind of, yeah. So that's the other thing is you can always have some posts that you set to family only, and you can, that way only your family members would see them, because you can change the privacy on every post. So I know that that's something that's an option. So if you want to only your family members to see certain, but if that's the case, I'm usually texting those pictures to my family members. So how do you deal with people posting negative things? One of the admins posted an article about MLMs and it's rough reading all the negative comments. Oh, that's really hard. You know what, Danielle? Sarah Kroger was in a group like a few weeks ago when this happened, and she waited a little bit and didn't say anything at first, and then she posted in the team page of what she ended up eventually, I can't remember, it was a comment or something, but I wish she was here. She said basically like I think she private messaged people or something, and she said like, I hope I've never misrepresented, like I'm here to help people because this has been a blessing in my life, and unfortunately some people misuse the business opportunity and use people, but you really can't judge everybody that way. And a lot of people actually affirmed her and were like, oh no, you're not like that. So I feel like if it was, she said that to the people that she was friends with, because she's active in that group. And I'll ask her to let me see if I can find it. I could tag you in it. I think the thing about it is, people don't understand sometimes with multi-level marketing. They think of it as a pyramid scheme, or unfortunately there's so many multi-level marketing businesses that just, people aren't trained on how to build relationships. They just throw product out everywhere and it gives everyone a bad name. I think the best thing you can do ultimately is just be the example of something different by not doing that and building those relationships and then giving them a better experience. I don't think it's ever good to be defensive, because if everyone's angry and then you jump in defensive, it doesn't end up well. But I do think that there's like an appropriate way to kind of just be you. And I'm going to find what Sarah wrote, because maybe even saying in that thread, like, I've read this article and I totally understand how you guys feel, but I don't think we should throw everybody in the same category. You know what I mean? Like that. Because there's also really good articles out there about how multi-level marketing have made such a life-changing difference in moms, to give them the ability to stay home and build a business and focus on their family. Like that's, but I think that's unfortunate that someone did that. But I'm going to find Yeah, I'm going to find Sarah's thing, and maybe that'll help you, Danielle. Like if you read her thing, and I would maybe reach out to her and ask her how she navigated it, because I really liked how she handled it really well. Comment with the articles of the positives. Yeah, I'm more like, yeah. I think for us too, when we read stuff like that, we have to almost look at it as like, that's their wound, and that really stinks they had that experience, and just motivate us to be different. You wouldn't have the guts to do it. You're funny. Do you guys have any other questions I can help with? Our candlelight team call. I can't believe my power is still not on. I'm like, what am I? This is crazy. Well, next week's team call, Michelle and Mayana are going to be on, and they're going to talk about events and the trip they were on. And for those of you who have been thinking about it, we still have room in our Summit house. So if you can make it work, we would love to have you. But they'll be talking about there were some things released and stuff that Michelle was sharing from the trip. So that'll be next week. And then the third week will be that business builder mastermind kind of, for those of you that are newer that want to talk about building income and getting to Emerald. And then the last call will have a guest speaker. Is it worth getting certified? It is worth getting certified as an instructor if it's something you feel like you'll use. Like I think I was considering getting certified in Core de Force, because then I was going to offer to maybe teach it like up at our church, but I'll be 34 weeks pregnant, so I'm probably not going to get certified in Core de Force because I'll put myself in labor. But I was going to try to get certified in that so I could teach it, like as a fit club. So or if it's something you think you would, most people that get certified in the programs, it's because they have the intention of offering it as a fit club. Like fit clubs are like free get-togethers, and they'll teach a class. Or if they want to go work at a gym, if it's an interest they have, like there's a coach that's been certified in PIO, and they'll go teach, like Nikki Wheeler would teach PIO in the park where she was. So that she got certified in that. So I think it just depends. I can still get certified. I want to just go hang out because Joel and Jericho are doing the certification. I'd get a lot of attention. I don't know if it would be the right kind of attention. They'd be like, there's a pregnant woman dying in the back of the room. Can you please pick her up off the floor? But I would say yes, if it's something you think that you would use, like not necessarily use all the time, but like use the knowledge, like even if the knowledge of it, like if it's like there's people who did P90X certification because that helped them help people because that was like their program, but I also know that they have certifications in other places. So if you choose not to do it at Summit, you can be certified like Core de Force, or what were you thinking of getting certified in? Because they like PIO is everywhere. Any Shalene program, you can get certified in different places. Because that was another one I thought about getting certified in. I was just thinking of ways that I could offer it around here. But I'm having a hard time finding a place that would even let me like teach it. I don't want to teach at a gym. So, but I hope that helps. Well, thank you guys for being on here tonight. I appreciate you hanging with me in the dark. Do y'all have any other questions I can help with? If you have other social media things, though, Michelle's a great person to reach out to. And also, you can look on the Team Fearless Freedom YouTube channel. There's old team calls that have social media tips and things that she's done too. You're welcome. All right, everybody. Well, have a good night. And oh, wait, was there one more? I feel like there was something I was supposed to remind you of. I'll post it in the group. I can't remember right now. Sorry, my pregnant brain's kicking in. Have a good night, everybody. Take care.